Okay, so now you're going to come and lie down on your yoga mat or in whatever comfortable space that you're going to be doing your practice in. And recommended this evening would be to have a block or maybe 2 blocks, a blanket, and maybe a strap. None of these things are actually necessary for you to get a lot out of the class, but those are things that some of you might like. Once you're lying on your back, I want you to actually put the soles of your feet on the floor. And then I actually want you to stomp your feet. Just stomp your feet. You're gonna put a lot of energy and awareness into the feet. Stomping, maybe stomp a little louder, a little harder, maybe jostle the legs a little bit more. And then just pat the feet really quietly. Just hear the cute little footsteps. And then bring the legs in the air. And once the legs are in the air, roll your ankles and maybe flex and point the feet. And magnetize your awareness down into the feet and honor the feet and say thank you, feet. Great. And then we're just going to shake the legs. So we're just getting right in here with some moving energy, right? Moving the chi, moving the prana, especially if we've been home, home a lot and not moving it very much. It wants to move. Great. Now come to stillness in the legs. And you're going to grab a hold of the back of the left leg. So we'll be doing some stuff from last week. Hopefully some of this is becoming familiar. Right leg lowers and hovers. And then switch. Hold on to the back of the right leg. Let the left leg lower. And then switch. Now, a few things to be mindful of. Continue. Find a little rhythm for yourself. A couple things to be mindful of. You don't want to necessarily tug on the back of the knee. So I would choose a spot above or below the knee, the back of the knee for your hands. And then also I want you to be mindful of the flexion of the foot, right? It's up to you how flexed or pointed. Just bring some clarity and awareness into the feet, right? This is the first point of awareness that I wanted us to come into contact with. So lots of awareness in the feet, lots of intelligence in the feet, some intelligence in your inner thighs. So as the inner thighs pass, maybe you can kind of feel them passing each other. And the last thing, we'll just do this for about 30 more seconds. The last thing that you could do is lift up the chest and the head. But if you do so, I want you to tuck your chin so that the back of the neck stays long. Breathing deeply. Last 10 seconds of this exercise. And then you'll come on to the back and place the soles of the feet on the floor. Feel the feet on the floor. And then take your hands alongside your hips. Push down into the feet, engage your belly, and lift up your hips. And I want you to imagine that any energy that you woke up in your feet, your knees, your legs in the previous exercise is starting to pour down through the hips, through the torso, into the heart, and into the throat space, cleaning out the upper chest and the neck and the areas of our respiration. Take a big inhale through your nose. Big exhale out of your mouth and just lower the hips. Hug your knees into your chest. And just take a couple of hip circles. I've been really enjoying pausing with my knees wide and my hands on my kneecaps, maybe even with the arms straight and the pelvis a little tipped forward. But you could just move around a little bit. Open and close the jaw as well. The hips and the jaw are connected, right? When one is able to relax, sometimes the other tightens, so you can keep them both soft. And then I want you to take the soles of both feet on the floor now, as wide as your mat. So I'll show you from this way. Here, my feet are wide. Yeah. And then just let both knees fall to the left. And then option, take your arms out wide, let your head turn toward the right. So we'll be doing some gentle work through the neck this evening. It's going to be a theme for us as we're working on a lot of health in that area of the body right now as a globe. Couple more breaths here, just really noticing where the sensation is in this stretch, maybe in several places. Really letting your inhales be full and really letting your exhales be complete, 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 complete till you're empty. And then again, one more. Complete, 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 empty. Come back up to center and just switch sides. Really gentle in the transitions. The legs flop to the right and the head turns toward the left. Gentle twist in the neck spine. Optional to have the arms out wide or not. Breathe. Feel. Give yourself permission to feel your own experience. Direct connection to life. Complete inhale. Complete exhale. Come back up to center and hug your knees into your chest again. And this time go ahead and rock all the way up. And you're gonna come with your hands underneath your shoulders, your toes pointing forward, lift up your hips. So reverse tabletop. Couple of breaths here. Notice where you feel the sensation. Let energy move in the spaces where you feel sensation. Let breath move. Take a big breath in. We'll do a lion's breath. Stick out your tongue, bulge your eyes, and shoot the hot breath to the ceiling. And then lower your hips down. Make your way onto hands and knees. So on hands and knees, we're going to do something a little bit interesting here. You're going to take your left leg and reach it back behind you. The ball of your left foot on the ground. Yeah? From here, you're going to then take your left knee, lift it up, and see if you can touch it to your upper left arm. And then reach that foot back. See if you can do that once more, just like that. So the left knee comes forward, it taps, and then the left ball of the foot goes back onto the ground. Okay, we're gonna add in another little moment here, and I'm just gonna turn around so that you can see it from behind. Now next time, as that left knee, we tap it forward. This time as it comes back, I want it to actually cross kind of off of your mat to the right, and then you'll look over your right shoulder. So again, we're working the neck a little bit gently, working the hips and legs. Okay, so that's what we'll do 5 times. The inhale, bring the left knee forward, the exhale, bring the left knee forward to the upper left arm. And then reach the left leg back as you breathe in, look over your right shoulder. You're looking at that foot, which is at a diagonal off the mat. And then we'll do that 4 more times. So bring forward, exhale, tapping up your shoulder, and then left foot way back across as you inhale, looking to the right. Coming forward, exhale, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, reach it back, look over right. Exhale, bring it forward, looking left shoulder. And then bring it back, looking right. Awesome. So where we're going to go from here is really simple. You're just going to take the left knee back under the left hip and do a couple rounds of cat and cow for yourself. Moving the energy between the hips and the heart. Come to a neutral spine and let's try just the tapping at first so that we're balanced on both sides. So first step the right foot back. And then see if you can take that right knee forward to your upper right arm. And then reach it back just normal, straight back on the mat. And then bring it forward. Great. And then this time you're gonna bring the right knee forward, look over to the right, and then we'll begin. You're gonna look over to the left shoulder as the right foot now goes wide off to the side. Maybe you're getting a stretch in that right outer waist. And then the right knee comes forward, we'll do it 5 times. Exhale, inhale, reach it back, look over left shoulder. Exhale, bring it forward, tap right shoulder, look right. Inhale, bring it back, look over the left shoulder. Exhale, bring it forward, tap. Inhale, bring it back, look left. Exhale, bring it forward, tap, look right. Inhale, bring it back, look left. Great, you're gonna come back onto hands and knees. And from here, you're gonna do a little arm stretch. You're gonna take your left hand and thread it under your right arm. Lay the left side of the head on the ground and the right hand will walk forward. Show it to you this way. So I'm sitting back like toward a child's pose, but my butt isn't quite touching my heels. My left side of the temple is on the floor, my right hand is forward. My left arm is like pinned to the ground and getting a stretch. And you can press into your right hand to open up the chest to the right more, or you could choose to kind of sink down into the stretch, depending on what feels like it's satisfying the deep needs of your precious body right now. 2 more breaths. The most important thing is that the awareness is in the body. 1 more breath. Let the exhale go out all the way, and then can you come up into a cow pose? So can you land right with the hands under the shoulders and lifting the chest, breathing in. And then cat pose, tucking your tail, rounding your spine, tucking your chin. Let's do the other side. So the right arm is gonna thread under the left. You're gonna sit back toward the heels, but not all the way onto the heels. Left hand walks forward, and you're opening up your chest to the left. You can play with how much you're kind of pinning that right arm to the floor. You can also sort of reach it over toward the right to accentuate the stretch. If your awareness is really alive inside of your body, it will tell you, right? Your awareness will know. 2 more breaths, feeling. 1, 3, 2. Can you come all the way back up into the cow pose? Hands underneath the shoulders, chest lifts, and then exhale, cat. Come to a neutral spine, tuck your toes under and come into downward facing dog, lifting the hips up, pressing the hands and the feet into the planet. Breathe there. And then walk yourself forward so that you end up in a standing forward fold at the front of the yoga mat, hanging over the legs. Spend a couple breaths hanging over the legs. And then allow yourself to round up to stand so that you'll end up standing nice and tall and clear at the front of your yoga mat. So in the last week, we've been working on moon salutations, and I want us to do a little bit more work with the moon salutations this week as people kind of get the hang of those. If your knees are a little sensitive, you just want to be kind to yourself and protect them, you could put a blanket about halfway down your mat, and that'll protect the knee. You also just want to be really mindful of your low back through this sequence, using your core engaged a lot, squeezing into the center line, and also using your hands on the ground for some of the transitions if you need. You'll see what I mean if this is new. Okay. So you're going to hook your thumbs now, and you're going to inhale, reach the arms forward and up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, kind of squeeze your knees together. Then put your belly on your thighs. Interlace your fingers behind your back and straighten your legs, drop your head. Now the legs don't ever have to be all the way straight if it feels like a jamming in the joints or an overstretching in the muscles or tendons. Big exhale here in this version of standing forward fold, and then skier's pose. So this is where you're gonna sit your hips back, look forward, keep the back of the neck long, and then you're gonna step the left foot way back. Lower the left knee. And then hook your thumbs, inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the hands down. Sit back into a runner's stretch. So left hip over the left knee, extend the right leg, flex the foot, and then fold over your right leg and just stay here 5 breaths. For 1. Now pour the awareness into the leg, into the hip, into the foot. Breathe as you feel these spaces in your body. Every time that you pour your awareness into your own body, you're validating its wisdom. You're saying, I care, I value you. And that can only serve to heal your relationship with the body and with nature. Now you're gonna start to come forward, pick up the left knee and pick up the right arm, low lunge twist. So another pose we did last week. You're gonna keep pressing down through both of your feet, engaging through your belly. Make the back of your spine long, including the back of your neck. Feel, breathe. And then you're gonna take the right hand down, you're gonna look down and step back into plank pose. Now you can either just stay here for a couple of breaths, building a lot of strength in plank pose, pulling your belly back to the spine, keeping the back of the neck long, or you could choose to do some form of vinyasa here as you exhale, bending the elbows and coming toward the earth. As you inhale, coming toward upward dog, or maybe it's cobra, or some other variation that you like. Downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe. 3 breath cycles. For 1, breathe. 2, breathe. Exhale, 3. Now take a big breath in. Bend the knees and look forward, preparing. Then step or hop your feet forward between your hands as you breathe out. Both feet together at the front of your mat as you breathe in, lengthen your spine, look forward on the floor, and then as you breathe out, go ahead and dive down over your legs. They don't have to be totally straight, of course. Then bend your knees, look a little forward, hook your thumbs, arms are straight, and you reach all the way up, looking up, pressing your feet into the ground, engage your bandhas, then go right back forward again, belly on your thighs. Interlace the fingers behind your back the opposite way, the opposite pinky on the outside, and if you can kind of sort that out, you can keep switching that. Big exhale here. As you breathe in, sit the hips back, squeeze the knees together, look a little forward on the floor, skier's pose. The right foot steps back this time, or if you ever mess up the sides, of course, just make sure you're balanced. Lower the knee. Hook thumbs, inhale, reach up, look up. Then take the hands down and set up runner's stretch. Right hip over the right knee, left leg extended, and left foot flex. Lengthen your spine and fold over the left leg. Feel the breath moving through your hip, your foot, and the leg, which connects the two. Maybe you thank your leg. Health is not something that we can take for granted at any time, right? That's become really, really clear. It's a gift to be honored. Big exhale. Start to shift the weight forward, mindfully come into a low lunge pose, weight on both feet, belly engaged, and then let the weight fall into your right hand as the left arm lifts up and you open up the chest for a twist. Feel the body in space, breathe. Make the shape really clear. Feel your breath, hear your breath. Let the energy move through the body, exhale. Take the left hand down and step the left foot back, plank pose. Depending on what's going on in your body, you'll take some form of a vinyasa or skip it and then we'll all meet in a downward facing dog. Reconnect with the rhythm of your breath. The very first thing we did in the practice was to feel the breath in this body. To remember your breath, your direct access to life. It's right here all the time. We're going to transition to the front of the mat. First, take an inhale. Looking forward, and then exhale to transition, stepping or hopping. Once both feet are at the top, lengthen your spine, find an in breath, and then out breath. Dive down over your legs. Bend your knees, squeeze your knees together, hook your thumbs in front, reach up, 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 press the feet into the earth, and then come to stand. And then here you can just go ahead and lower your arms, let the head drop so that you're gazing straight forward. Good. So here we're going to do a version of tree pose. You're going to pick up your left foot and place it into your inner right thigh, or the inner calf, or the inner ankle. Now, whichever space you happen to be in, I want you to see if you can come up with your hands and bring them to the base of your skull. Interlace the fingers behind the base of the skull and very gently sort of put a little pressure inwards so you're squeezing the back of the neck and lifting up. And then pull your elbows behind you so the back of the heart starts to become, those two shoulder blades start to come together as the elbows pull back. Keep the belly engaged. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Then go ahead and release the arms. Release the left knee forward and then take that foot to the floor. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, take your hands through the heart center, right through the middle, and just fold forward over your legs. Shake the head out a little bit. Flutter your lips if you can. Not everybody can. And then round your way up. Coming all the way up to the top. Other side for tree. So that right foot will connect into the inner left thigh. Or below the knee, right? Same thing as we were talking about earlier. You just don't want to put pressure on the knee from any side, really. Find your footing, placing that right foot where it's going to go. And then take your time. Really engage through the belly. Show this from the side, actually, so that you don't want to be arching in the low back in any way in this. It's almost like the hands are helping to lift the heavy head up off of the spine. And also to actually lift the weight of the shoulders up a little bit off of the hips, right? And of course, what's in between, but your lower spine. And you're kind of squeezing a little bit at that neck space, the occipital joint, to lift the head up. 2 more breaths. As you pull the elbows back, the shoulder blades come together, the rhomboids, those muscles in between. Feel your heart open and start to come back to neutral. You might have to bend the standing leg a little bit for balance and security, and then right knee comes forward, right foot steps down. And then go ahead and fold forward over your legs, but let your feet come a little bit wide. And option to have a block here. And what we're gonna do, and you can, these are, just do them really simply here. You're gonna bend the left knee, the right leg is straight, and then switch. So first you're just rocking side to side. See that? Move my arms. Just really, really simple. Don't overdo it in the knee. You don't have to go too far to the side. And then can you now kind of make a figure 8? So now as the right knee bends, you kind of lean forward and then to the right, so it makes a little circle. And then the left knee bends and it goes kind of forward and to the left, right? Blocks into the hands can be super helpful. And just do a couple more, a few more breath cycles like this, just seeing if you can make really simple, intuitive little hip circles. Cool. And then go ahead and come back to center and just hang over your legs. Maybe again, you flutter the lips, but it's a big release through the upper spine, upper body, jaw. And then again, round up, but maybe this time without an exhale. So push the exhale out, round up. So you're an empty, 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 empty. And then once you get to the top, inhale, raise the arms out and up, reach up, look up, and then let the arms float down. Great, we're gonna hop back into our moon salutation sequence, and we'll be flowing a little bit and then adding on. If anything's feeling funky in the low back or the shoulders or the hips, take these really gently, yeah, and protect yourself by putting hands on the ground in transitions. Here we go, hook thumbs, press through your feet, take a big inhale and reach up. As you exhale, bend your knees, put your belly on your thighs, interlace your fingers behind your back and straighten your legs. Optional, put your hands on the ground as you look forward, lengthen the spine, skier's pose. Exhale, step your left foot back, lower the knee. Either keep the hands on the ground or hook your thumbs and reach up. Keep the core really engaged, lift up. And then taking the hands down, runner stretch. Sit the hips back, left hip over the left knee, right leg extended, flex and fold. Now start to come forward into low lunge. So shifting the weight forward, picking up the back knee. Here we're gonna diverge a little bit from what we did before. You're gonna press down through your feet, engage through your legs, and come up for high lunge. Right knee directly over the right ankle. If you can, now interlace your fingers above your head, turn your palms to the sky, and straighten your arms. Gaze forward on the horizon, and then move with me with your breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg and rise up. Exhale, rebend the front knee. Again, inhale, straighten and rise up. Exhale, rebend the front knee. One more time, straighten, lift up. One more time, exhale, bend. Now reach the arms out wide to the side, feel the whole breadth of your wingspan. And then turn open for triangle pose. So your chest will turn over to the left, your right toes will be pointing straight forward, left foot at an angle, and then start to come forward, right hand will connect to the right shin, left fingertips will reach up toward the sky. As long as it doesn't hurt the back of your neck, gaze up at the top fingers, breathing one. If it does, you can look forward at the wall in front of you. Good, hopefully you've got the feeling of the shape so you don't have to look at the screen. Though I totally understand that at first you may have to. Over the next few weeks, you'll start to get the hang of my vocabulary and it should become easier and easier to follow along with your ears. Breathe deeply for 4. Breathe. Exhale. 5. As if someone's grabbing a hold of your left fingertips and pulling you up, come all the way up to stand. Now you're going to swing both arms behind you, interlace the fingers. You're going to start to set up facing forward for, move this, for humble warrior. So actually before you interlace your fingers, you may want to use your hands on your hips. You want to make sure that you're pointing straight forward. And here on the video you can see my feet are pretty wide. I'm not on a tightrope like I was in triangle pose. Yeah? Now my fingers interlace behind the back. Here I am, and then I'm gonna bend the front knee and dive inside of that right thigh. Letting the head drop, crown of the head open toward the earth, the back of the neck long. Again, I want a lot of neck health, a lot of neck space in these coming weeks for all of us. Keep pressing down through your feet. Keep letting the chest and the head drop forward. Couple more breaths here in and out of your upper back, your neck, your jaw, the crown. Keep pressing through the feet, keep engaging through the belly. Big exhale. Great, come all the way up. Press your feet into the planets, do so, lift up through the chest. And then shift the weight forward and simply step forward, left foot next to right. Hook thumbs, inhale, reach up. And then bend the knees, put your belly on your thighs, interlace your fingers behind your back. Drop your head, straighten your legs. Inhale, skier's pose. Reach the heart forward, sit the hips back. Option to put your hands on the ground. Then step your right foot back, lower your right knee gently to the plank. Engage your belly, hook your thumbs and reach up, breathing in. Take the hands down as you breathe out, sit back the hips, and fold forward, runner stretch. Come forward into a low lunge, pick up your right knee. Get really clear, press down through your inner feet, engage through your belly, and come up for a high lunge. Interlace the fingers and turn your palms up toward the ceiling. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Relax your jaw, gaze on the horizon, breathe out. Straighten the front leg, breathe in. And rebend, breathe out. Find a nice little rhythm for yourself. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Reach the arms out wide, put a nice wide wingspan. Then straighten the left leg. Turn yourself open for triangle pose. You want your front heel intersecting your back inner arch on your mat. Plug in through that right foot and then reach way, way forward through the left arm. Connect the left hand to the shin. Reach the right arm toward the sky. The back of the neck needs to be long, and for a lot of us, it helps to slightly tuck the chin, kind of lean back into that space. Feel your breath. 3, the shapes help us feel the breath, right? Because the breath feels a little different in each shape. 4, meet that with curiosity. Exhale, 5. As if someone's grabbing a hold of your wrist and pulling you gently toward the sky. Come all the way up. You're going to reach that right foot a little forward and to the right. Again, so you've got this nice wide enough stance for our hips to be pointing straight forward again. Interlace the fingers behind your back with the opposite pinky on the outside from last time. Lift up through your chest. Bend the left knee and dive inside of the left leg, letting the head drop. And I will show you this from the front as well, in case that's useful. Hear your breath. Keep plugged in through the feet. Keep engaged through the core. Letting the head just drop out of the shoulders. Breathe for 4. And exhale. 5. You're going to come all the way up, lift up through your chest, take your time, then step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. So once again, you're standing at the front of your mat. Release the arms from behind, reach them forward, hook your thumbs, inhale, reach up. We're just going to do our sequence one more time each side. Exhale, fold forward, belly on thighs, then interlace your fingers behind your back, straight legs. Inhale, skier's pose, the chest lifts as your hips sit back. Option to put the hands on the ground, left foot steps back, breathing out, lowering the knee. Hooking thumbs, take a full inhale, open up the chest to the sky. Then taking the hands down, sit back as gently as you can into runner's stretch. Come forward as you breathe in, low lunge, press into your feet. Come all the way out as you breathe out, up as you breathe out, interlace your fingers, palms up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend, and take the arms out wide, full wingspan. This time, really simple. We're gonna open out for triangle. You'll come forward into triangle. So recognizing these transitions. Come all the way back up as if someone's pulling on that arm as you breathe in. And now a little bit different this time. You're gonna turn to face the front. Keep your left arm up. Similar stance as before, but this time we're going to go into twisted triangle. Option, just for people who have pretty open shoulders, take half reverse prayer behind you, right? If that's too complicated or you're just trying to learn twisted triangle, don't worry about it. Everyone's going to start to come forward, Hinge at your hips and then twist, taking the left hand outside of the right foot or inside if you need. A block is great here, looking over your right shoulder. Some of us will have the right hand pinned behind the heart, just if that feels good and available. Some of us will have the right arm in the air instead. Breathe deeply and fully. For 3, keep pressing down through the feet, keep engaging through the core, chest is forward. 4. And 5. Ardha Chandrasana is next in the last sequence in the series, so last pose in the series. Look forward and down, shift the weight into your right foot, I'll turn. Shift the weight into your right foot. Some of you will have to drag that right hand down the spine, so just be mindful if it was pinned behind the back. Right hand comes down to the ground, the left arm starts to reach up, the weight balanced on that right foot. Left hip starts to stack over the right hip, left arm reaches up to the sky. And if you do have a block, it can be awesome because it'll actually just kind of even out the pose by making your arm a little longer, making the whole thing a little bit more geometric. 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. You're gonna look down, really simple, step the left foot next to the right, bend the knees, hook your thumbs in front and reach all the way up, big breath in. And big breath out, bend the knees, put the belly on the thighs, interlace your fingers behind your back and drop your head. Skier's pose as you breathe in, the hips sit back deep and low. Looking a little forward, option to put your hands on the ground. Right foot steps back, right knee lowers. Hooking thumbs and reaching up, breathing in. Taking hands down, sitting back, runner stretch, breathing out. Coming forward into the low lunge. Pressing down through the feet, engaging through the belly. Coming all the way up. High lunge. Interlace the fingers, palms to the sky. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the front knee, right over the ankle, and then reach the arms out wide, wingspan. Open up for triangle pose. Adjust the feet, then come forward through the left arm. Connects to the shin, and the right arm reaches up, up, up as we come right back up. Turn your chest and your hips to face forward. Option to take the left hand and pin it behind the back. Press down through your feet and reach way forward through the chest and then find the twist. Pravritta Trikonasana, twisted triangle. Looking over your left shoulder, breathing deep breaths. Breathing for 3, 4, and 5. Ardha Chandrasana. Look forward onto the floor in front of you. Start to shift the weight into the left foot. Let the left hand come down and connect to the planet or to a block. And then stack the right hip over the left. Start to stack the right arm over the left. Hear your breath. 3, feel life moving through you. 4, honor your direct access through your awareness. 5, look down. Bend the left knee as the right foot lands next to it. You can sort out the feet if they're a little askew. Bend your knees, hook your thumbs. Big inhale, reach all the way up. And then float your arms down. We're gonna do another breath practice here, Kapalabhati breath. So I want you to just take a comfortable seat. I often like to do this in a squat. But you can really be in any comfortable seated position for Kapalabhati breath. So we just moved a bunch of energy. Now we're just gonna clean out the internal organs, clean out the lungs, clean out the respiratory system. So take a big breath in. You might want tissues nearby. Big breath out. Inhale to a comfortable level, and then Kapalabhati. Short, sharp exhales out of your nose. Keep it going. You want to find a rhythm for yourself. My rhythm may not be your rhythm, but find that rhythm, and then if you can, gaze at your third eye. Feel yourself cleansing, pumping. Feel the bandhas retracting. Each exhale vehemently pressing air out of the lungs. A little bit longer. Now slow it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the exhale out, out, out. Then a big inhale. All the exhale out, out, out. Now inhale to a comfortable level. You're going to retain the inhale this time. So just a nice amount of breath in the lungs. And then engage your bandhas, tuck your chin slightly. So belly in, pelvic floor lifted, chin slightly tucked. And so you've got this nice little container, like your little vessel for the sweet amount of breath that you have inside. Gentle gaze at your third eye. Relax the outer edges of your skin. Trust the vessel just a little bit longer. Good, then big exhale. Big inhale. Nicely done. Okay, from here, you're gonna make your way into a downward dog pose. And we're gonna do some more restorative stuff from here and some stretching. So first I want you to pick up your left leg, reach it up and back behind you. You can roll that ankle if it feels good. You can open the hip and stack if that feels good. And take another breath just to feel your way into that. And then you're going to come into pigeon pose. You're going to take your left knee forward and place it inside of your left wrist. And if you just feel really good about pigeon, just come right into it. Otherwise, I want you to really get situated so that your left outer thigh is parallel to the outer edge of your mat. I'm sideways on my mat. But so that you can actually become really square. I'll show it from a couple angles. And for some of us, that means definitely, if his left hip is lifted, you're gonna wanna put something under so that the alignment can be there. And then when you're ready, fold forward. You may want something underneath your forehead. Good. Give yourself permission to be here. You're sending the message, I am valuable. My own direct experience is worth my attention. This feeling, this breath, this moment, this contains all of life, and I am tasting it directly. Now we're going to add in a little something here that I really like to do, which is adding in a hum, so adding in a vibration, the power of chanting at its most simple. Big breath in, and then you're just going to do a deep, low hum right here in your pigeon pose. Keep going until it runs all the way out. And then stay for an inhale. Feel how there's more space inside because of that hum. And then exhale and let yourself sink a little closer into the arms of Mother Earth. Just surrender. Big inhale, and you're gonna walk your hands back, lift up through your chest, make your way back to downward dog. Some of you might choose to take a vinyasa. We didn't do a lot of those in this practice today. So if that feels like something that you'd like a little more of, you can initiate that on your own. And back in downward dog, you'll press into your hands, engage through your core, lift up your right leg, breathe in. Some of us will open the hip, bend the knee, maybe roll the ankle. And then go ahead and square off the hips again, straighten out the leg, and then re-bend the knee and tuck it inside of your right thumb. Being mindful about finding that alignment. Taking your time to go get a prop if you need it to put under the right sits bone. Lift up through the heart, fold forward. Deep, full breath. At the beginning of the pose, we're finding our way, we're mapping it out, we're fidgeting until I can get it right. But at some point, we then need to arrive into the center of the pose. And then once you get there, the external movement stops. And then we're just tracking the internal movement of breath, that slow but inevitable process of healing us and opening us up. Make yourself available for life to move through you. We're going to do a hum now, big inhale, and then a deep, low, resonant hum. Let it go all the way. And then let an inhale fill you. And then let the exhale go all the way out and let Mama Earth hold you. Let the wisdom of your body meet you. Come up nice and slow. And then you could again go through downward dog. You could again go through a vinyasa. But then we are going to end up seated. That's the next place that we will meet. Seated, I want you to choose a forward fold of your choice. Anything that feels yummy to you. Could be 2 straight legs, that's Paschimottanasana. Could be feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana. About 10 breath cycles in this forward fold, so really your choice. But again, choose and then arrive, right? There's this kind of shifting and reorganizing that happens each time we shift which asana we're in, which pose we're in. That's life, right? It transitions all the time. But then can you find the stillness inside each asana? And from that stillness, you can actually watch the movement of life. When we're also moving, it's kind of hard to appreciate it. But once the attention becomes still and present inside the body, we notice that we are a part of the breath, a part of life. It is flowing through us. Come up slowly. And the next shape that I'm going to ask you to come into is a restorative shape. And depending on what kind of props you have
I don't know, each of us are going to be in something a little different. It's going to be Supta Baddha Konasana with some support behind your heart. And actually the most important part is what's behind your heart. So really, I guess that's a restorative fish pose. Anyway, don't worry about that too much. I'm going to show you with 2 blocks, and then I'm going to show you what you could do with just 1 blanket. Okay, so if you have, actually, even if you have just 1 block would go under your heart. And this is really important, the placement of it. For ladies, it's right around the bra strap line. It's right here, right? So it's right below my shoulder blades. Yeah, right here. Okay, so it's right below my shoulder blades. And this is where the block is going to end up, but of course under my back, and I'm going to lay onto it. Now this block, for a much gentler experience in the neck, could be up high. Some of us might have some pillows instead, right? And so it might not be quite as high. So I'll just show you 1 block like this. And the head resting on a blanket, or you can see with my head on the blanket, my throat's pretty open. But if I have this block under my head, on the highest level, it's going to be less open. So I want you to mess around with that. So maybe you've got one thing under your heart, 1 thing under your head. Don't worry about your legs right now. Maybe you've just got 1 blanket, and I'll show you what you could do with that. You can roll it. Kind of chunk. And you could either put that under the heart, right where I showed you with the block, and then your head could be on the ground because this is a little gentler. The block lifts you up way higher. Or last option, some people like to put it lengthwise down their spine. So play around, find some experience that feels sustainable, that feels like it's opening up through the chest, right? It's allowing this front body of your upper body to be open, letting your arms just dangle. Now feet could go wide and then knees together. I'll show you from the front. That could feel really nice. Or you could put feet together, knees apart. And in that situation, you might want, some propping underneath your knees. You're going to get comfortable. Settle in and breathe. What does it feel like to have life moving through you right now? Every single sensation, every single sound is an opportunity to reconnect with life directly. Now, some of you might want to stay here. Some of you might want to actually raise your arms up or cactus the arms or find some other way to get deeper into the stretch in your upper spine. Some of you might choose to come into Shavasana for the last few minutes here. Some of you might choose to do 1 closing pose before that. Might be nice to take one of your props underneath your hips and just lift the legs in the air. If you love shoulder stand and it feels really healthy for your neck, do a lot of shoulder stand these days. You could also do shoulder stand. Really good for that same part of the body we've been targeting.
Last few minutes of practice. So you're taking closing postures or you're settling into some final rest space where you would like to be still on the earth for a few minutes. Come home to this moment. Come home to this body. Come home to this heart. Come home to this mind. Put down your resistance, put down your attachment. And see if just for a couple minutes you can really be with yourself without being at war. Just a couple minutes is all it takes for awareness and health and wisdom to become unlocked inside you. Now you are welcome to stay right where you are and just receive the chanting. But if you'd like to close your practice with a few minutes of chanting with me, move really slowly and kindly up to a seated position. We're going to do the chant we've been doing all week. Hey Ma Durga. Realigning ourselves with Mother Nature, with the universe, with the Tao, with this balance of yin and yang. Hey Ma Durga. Your turn. Hey Ma Durga. Hey Ma Durga.
Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Let's close just with our hands in prayer. Take a little moment and thank yourself for joining yourself, for showing up, to honor this body, this heart, this mind, by taking care of yourself, by growing your health and your wisdom. You're healing all of us and making the world a wiser place. Thank you. Closing by just gently bowing down to the wisdom and the love that lives inside of you and inside of all creatures. Ambo Shri Satguru Mata Devi Ki Jai. Namaste.